called the stock tracker. The one that you have from BFE looks something like that, right? Familiar, right? The one that we have a little bit more information. We allow you to be able to view things like, for all the order that is in the market, what is how does the order pans out? Are there more buyer or more seller for the counter? From here you can tell, because overall there is more green than red, means more price match on the seller price, and less match on the buyer price. There's a percentage also shown on the screen. There is a 56.88% is matched on the seller price, that's why it's green, and there's 43.12% matched on the buyer price, that's why that is red. So this one tells you the buying direction, more buyer, more seller in the market. Okay, we also divide that into a few things. We show you those that account for transaction that is from one lot to 15,000 share, from one lot to 150 lot, for example. It is classified in the red zone. Okay, and therefore that account for 1.49 million worth of transaction. The one that is between 15,000 to 50,000 is in a green zone. It accounts for 1.92 million. The one that is 50,000 to 150,000 per transaction is accounting for 2.9 million, and the one that is above 150,000 is accounting for 2.15 million. Are this information useful for you? Are this information useful for you? You know what it tells you? It tells you not only how many trades are in the market. It tells you whether the direction is buying or selling. It also tells you who are the players in the market. Are there more retail, more institution, things like that, right? Because more retail trading on a smaller quantity, more institution trading on a bigger quantity, correct? So it tells you the division. But what it also tells you, if you want to go into value, okay, then it tells you this is the value. The value, for those trade that is above, 150, it accounts for 63 million for Sime Darby. Okay, the smaller one that is up to 15,000 account for 13 million worth of a contract. If you go by the number of transaction count, then it shows you the retail account for the bulk of it, because the retail trade anything from one lot to 15,000 share, which is 150 lot, for example, and this account for 314 number of match transaction. Out of the total of 436, 315 is retail, and therefore the bigger hand are much smaller. There's much less transaction. So it tells you again who are the players in the market. By looking at the stock tracker you have in BFE, it doesn't tell you. You can do a lot of mental calculation, but the market is moving, phone call is ringing, you can't do that, right? So these are what we call market analytic, which already built in for you. At one glance you can see what it means.